Christmas is just an awful reminder of how I lost my sister. I was only 8 years old when it happened, and I still have nightmares about it. It was the day I first met Santa Claus. 20 years ago, on the night of Christmas Eve, me and my little sister Stacy were getting ready for bed. Stacy was 6 years old, had blonde hair, and was pretty much the light of my life. I helped Stacy get into her PJs, and we both climbed into bed, ready to be tucked in. Our grandma, whom we were living with at the time, came in and did just that. But before she left, she warned us both not to get out of bed when Santa arrived. I asked her, why not? And the response she gave was cryptic, to say the least. She said that doing so would only bring misfortune to our family. How can Santa bring misfortune, I wondered. Doesn't he spread joy wherever he goes? I just shrugged and said okay, not taking her words seriously, though I wish I had. Stacy and I wanted to see Santa with our own eyes, so we both stayed awake as long as we could, having pillow fights to pass the time. At around midnight, we both heard the familiar jingle of sleigh bells on our roof, followed by heavy footsteps. "It's Santa!" my sister said excitedly as she hopped out of bed and ran into the hall. I followed close behind her as we ran downstairs into the living room where our Christmas tree was set up. The sight which greeted us is still burned into my memory to this day. There was indeed a man in a red suit by our tree. He was carrying a large bag over his shoulder, but he also had a tail and 2 large horns sticking out of his head. His back was facing us and he seemed to be hunched over like he was eating something. We could also hear crunching and squelching sounds from him. That's when we saw the pool of blood at Santa's feet, along with the headless corpse of our grandma lying on the floor. We both let out a horrified scream and stumbled backwards. The creature then turned around to look at us with its yellow eyes. Our grandma's severed head was in between its teeth, partially eaten away. Whatever this thing was, it wasn't Santa. Its body looked human, but its head was that of a goat. The creature devoured the severed head in 2 bites, then started running towards us, screeching like an animal. We both ran back upstairs to our room as fast as we could. I hid in the closet and slammed the door behind me, not realizing that Stacy wasn't beside me. I didn't have time to search for her as I heard the creature barge into my room. I peeked under the crack in the door so I could see everything that was happening. It was stomping around trying to find us. Then it looked straight at me through the crack in the closet door like it knew I was there, but it didn't do anything. Instead, it looked over at the bed and smiled. I looked at the bed as well and gasped. I could see a tiny bare foot sticking out from under it. It was Stacy. She hid under the bed but didn't realize her leg was exposed. The creature quickly grabbed her ankle and dragged her out, then proceeded to feast on her flesh. Stacy screamed in agony, crying out for me to come save her. I should have done something, but I was too scared to move. All I could do was cover my eyes and sob quietly until I couldn't hear Stacy's screams anymore. When I looked back, the creature was gone along with my sister. My grandma's body had also vanished without a trace. Only I was spared. After years of therapy, I still can't get the image of that creature out of my mind, or the screams of my sister being eaten alive. I'll probably live with this guilt for the rest of my life. Every Christmas Eve, I stay up past midnight, waiting and hoping that the creature will return to finish me off, so I can finally be reunited with my family. But it hasn't happened. Yet.